What are you gonna open with, John?
Gonna open your mom.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
Do we have our? No, we don't. That's all right. Who cares about our network? It's not important.
You know.
Okay, we're in.
We're in there.
We're in.
Somewhere.
We're in. Welcome back, everybody, to the Triple Cross podcast. You guys know how it works. You got to like the video. You got to jump in the chat. We are giving away DAPS Sports gift cards. Get your NBA swag. Get your NFL swag. Get your cards.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
The cool stuff. Lots of jerseys. Lots of signed jerseys right now.
Mini helmets, signed full-size jerseys.
Yeah.
We're running breaks every single day, so
I'm into the jerseys. So you guys know what it is. Every 25 likes, we give away $25 to DAPS Sports. We got DAPS with us here today. DAPS with the DAPS background, giving away DAPS Sports. It's a DAPS kind of day.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I am as well. Casey, do we have any sponsors for today's episode? I don't think so.
I don't think we do actually. So.
DAPS, pretty much.
DAPS is our sponsor today.
Here.
DAPS is our sponsor. So no sponsors, no open, no intro. We're just into it. It's called a cold open. That's what they call it.
We got a lot to get to, so this is perfect.
In the biz, as it were. Yep. All right. Cool. Well, should we start it off? See some people coming in. David, the cool kid, eh? How's it going? Ralph, what's up? Christina. Good afternoon, said Christina. Where? I guess everywhere but the West Coast. Everybody where but the West Coast. It's pretty much afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm like, afternoon feels like morning. Just started my day.
Yeah, we're still in morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not afternoon. So that was just inaccurate, really.
Yeah.
Maybe
They don't know.
Here on the East Coast,
She must be. I mean, everywhere but us, I guess, is in the afternoon.
I just realized that I was not speaking through my mic this whole pre-show thing, and just did a little check. I'm glad I did because I was coming through my my stupid mic instead of the good one. So hopefully I sound a lot better to you.
Yeah,
you sounded great this whole time.
Yeah, dude, you always sound
Thanks,
good.
I'm blushing now.
Does that help your confidence?
How are we supposed to do a show? I'm over here just like, oh.
That I like how you said my stupid mic. Like everybody knows what that means.
Yeah.
I'm the only person. That was an inside joke between me and you.
I mean, if your mic is installed inside of your computer, then it's a stupid mic.
It's stupid.
Yeah. If you can't do this with it,
it's not a smart mic.
Stupid.
All right, so let's get into some stuff. I think we got some crossing out or crossing up for the NBA, right?
We do. I think it might spread beyond the NBA, but
some crossing out or crossing up for sports. We're just
idea.
getting in. We're doing this sort of like super show format where we talk NBA, we talk NFL, we talk all things. And we give away gift cards. Everybody, just a reminder, every 25 likes on the video, $25 gift cards to DAPS Sports. Casey, let me know when we're close, and then I'll tell everyone how they can claim the gift card. But I'll start us out with a little crossing out. If you don't know how crossing out or crossing up works, we just pick things we like and don't like, or don't like and like. I'll start with a little crossing out. I'm going to cross out Sixers fans right now. If you're a Sixers fan in the chat, let me know because I'm crossing you out. If you want to Tobias Harris, I love Tobias Harris's response to Sixers fans who want to trade him. So it's kind of a crossing up for Tobias Harris. But what did he say? He said, Sixers fans will trade me for a crumble cookie right now, but they're not going to find a wing who can 70 games a year, shoot near 40% from the 3-point line and defend the other team's best player. I love that. I love that he's like, what are you going to this? I'm exactly what you need. I'm exactly what every team in the NBA wants. You just are taking me for granted because you have me. Right?
Well, I think it's also, you have Embiid and you have Harden on there who are your prime scorers.
Yeah.
And when you're the third scoring option, you don't get that love.
Right.
You're kind of looked down upon when people don't realize, like he said,
yeah,
I'm guarding the best player on the other team.
I'm playing 70 games
and Embiid don't have to, sweat as hard.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm playing 70 games a season.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. No, I love the response. They'll trade me for a crumble cookie. I mean, look, I do like crumble cookies.
Yeah,
in his defense, he did say casual fans.
That's true. Yeah, casual
he didn't say
Sixers fans.
Sixers fans. He was like casual Sixers fans. He made it a point.
Yeah.
The people who, if Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he was saying.
Yeah, casual Sixers fans. So I'm crossing out casual Sixers fans. If they want to trade Tobias Harris, get out. Crossing you out.
I'd like to change my cross out to just Philly fans, and I'd like to cross them all out.
All of
across
them.
the board.
Every
All
sport?
Philly fans.
Every sport. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Philly sports fans.
A couple of people dropped out for sure on that one. I think
Yeah.
Tobias Harris is perpetually like underrated, but Crumble Cookie's also pretty underrated. So,
Dude, I don't think Crumble Cookie's underrated at all. It's the biggest cookie thing store delivers.
as it should be though.
Confession,
They're
I
delicious.
don't know if I've had a crumble cookie.
What?
Like maybe I have, but if I did, it wasn't that memorable.
Oh,
Where do you
then
get your cookies?
then you haven't had one. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Insomnia.
Then you haven't had your cookies. Oh, is that
Insomnia is delicious?
is that only like an LA only place? Or?
No. It's well, I found it in New York, and then
Oh.
it was out here too, and I was like, oh wow.
Okay.
And they're like, you Postmates 12 cookies in like a pizza box.
Yeah. That's how
like-
Crumble works
Yeah,
too.
it's
Yeah.
probably the same vibe.
But Daps, you're forgetting they took the E out of the word crumble, which makes it very cool.
Yeah.
It makes it very like posh, right?
Yeah.
It makes it very like ooh,
Obviously.
sophisticated. Wow.
We got a couple people in the chat, a little lost. Am I in the right place? I mean, look, that's
What's up, Sally?
I think that's for you to decide ultimately, Sally. Like
Ooh.
it's just I
John
think
getting
that
existential.
that's a little more existential than maybe we're going to get into. But if you're looking for the place where we're giving away NBA swag via the DAP Sports store. So we are giving away $25 gift cards to the DAP Sports store for every 25 likes on the video. So like the video and win stuff. It's pretty simple. That if you're looking for that, you're in the right spot. If you're looking for, some hoops talk, some NBA talk, you're definitely in the right spot, or just sports talk in general. I think we're doing NBA and NFL today.
Yeah.
Jason said it depends what Sixers fans can get for Tobias. I mean, I think we're getting into this a little bit later, but regardless, it's like even if you can get a superstar, most superstars don't play that role. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could get, I don't want to leak what we're doing later, but like, let's say you could get like a Kyrie Irving or a Luka. Let's say you could get a Luka. Probably couldn't get somebody that good for Tobias Harris, but let's say you could. You still don't have somebody to defend the other team's best player, right? Who's going to do that? James Harden? No. Joel Embiid? Well, yeah, he's going to defend big, but he's not going to defend the wing. And you still have a problem of like, are people going to play the games, or who's going to get the touches? Then we have like too many scorers. So I get it. Like, yeah, if you could get Luka for Tobias Harris, you probably do it, but
It's not like Tobias doesn't score, man. I mean, the world champion Nuggets, they were like praising Aaron Gordon, who is essentially the same kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like most of his
I
prowess
would
is on
say Tobias
defense.
Harris a better scorer than Aaron Gordon.
That's exactly what I mean. And probably better overall player, really. I mean,
yeah.
Who's the better defender? Pick your poison, I guess. But
Aaron
overall,
Gordon's more athletic. He plays that role a little bit better. But
who calls him a better basketball player, really? And no disrespect to him. He's like the fourth best guy on his team, maybe.
Yeah. Even if you can go get a superstar for Tobias Harris, like a Luka,
and you can't,
which you can't. But even if you can, somebody's got to be the third best player on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, like he doesn't get the love because he's the third best player on the team. No matter what, somebody's got to be the third best.
Well, then it'd just be Tyrese Maxey.
Hot take: the 76ers have a championship if they sign Jimmy Butler instead of Tobias Harris.
Ooh, so you're not crossing out the casual Sixers fans.
Well, I mean, that was the worst decision in franchise history, probably.
But they still had Tobias when they had Jimmy Butler, right?
Yeah, but they maxed him. They gave him a max contract, and they basically had to pick between Butler and Tobias.
It was kind of the Oklahoma City Thunder did that with like Kendrick Perkins and James Harden. Yeah. Okay.
So it's bonehead move of the century, and bonehead move of the century of the Thunder too. But
yeah,
remember that shot that Kawhi hit, that bumped off the rim 3 times to beat the Sixers. Like they're 1 game away from the championship, and then they signed Jimmy the following year. Now you've got. I don't know if you still trade for Harden, if Simmons leaves, how that goes down, but Jimmy Butler and Embiid just make a lot of sense defensively.
Yeah.
And offensively.
Yep.
Like where Bam Adebayo can't score the way Embiid can, like Embiid's still a great defender, right? So
right.
Jimmy's a top 5 defender. So
yeah. No, so I don't know what the confusion is with people and like where they are. Sally G. Hoops Talk and Swag. Yes, that you are in the right place for that. Someone else said, I don't know why I'm here, but here I am. I don't know if that's an existential statement or if it's just, like, who knows?
It feels very like I think, therefore I am. I don't know where I
Yeah.
am, but I'm here, so I must be somewhere.
Yeah. She also said she just won a Jimmy Butler signed jersey. That's dope. I would take that. Guess I need
Speaking
to
of boneheaded
crossing
things,
out. What you got?
Yeah, crossing out. I got a good one here, I think. So just recently, I don't know exactly what day it was, but Dennis Rodman. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Semi-popular guy.
Yeah, he was that guy who was he dated Madonna, right? That guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's usually very like clean-cut, conservative, kind of soft-spoken. Right. Not usually in the media cycle for much.
Not a disruptor. Yeah.
Right. But actually, Rodman was quoted with some pretty ridiculous stuff here lately, in my opinion. So I'm crossing him out because he said that Larry Bird in today's game of basketball would be, quote unquote, in Europe. This is all. Let me give some context here real quick before we dive into this a little more. This is all kind of piggybacking on a Gilbert Arenas quote, who said that Larry Bird would probably beat LeBron James one-on-one. That's the quote I have. I think that means in their primes. Like if Larry Bird were in his prime today, he would beat LeBron
not
James
right now. Yeah.
Right. Of course, not geriatric Larry Bird.
Right.
Larry Dead Bird. So Dennis Rodman was quoted to say, if Larry Bird played in this era, I think he'd be in Europe. I'm just letting you know, man, he'd be somewhere over there. His game was fit for Boston at that time in the 80s and stuff like that.
And stuff
today's
like
world, today's world. Oh, hell no. There's no way. I'm not downplaying him because he's a great player at that time, just like I was. But I'm saying, no, there's no way.
My biggest problem with that statement is the just like I was part. I mean, look, Dennis Rodman did a thing. He was a role player, but he was not a great player. Like Larry Bird was not a great player, just like Dennis Rodman was.
He's definitely punching up here, which is like, I get it. But at the same time, like you haven't really earned the right to punch up in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm crossing out Dennis Rodman on this one.
Yeah. What you got, Daps? What do you think? Who is he right?
Is Larry Bird in Europe
today?
There's
no way he's right. I was trying to think if Rodman won Defensive Player of the Year awards and how many. And maybe if he did, in my mind, when I think about those two players, like Rodman is not on the same tier as Bird, but like Rodman is one of the greatest rebounders ever, right? Like,
yeah. No, I mean,
pound for pound,
I'm not saying he's not good.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised by these. Like every other year, Rodman says something where you're like, what is this guy talking about?
Yeah. Who are you again? Yeah.
To answer your question, he did win DPOY twice, and he earned NBA All Defensive Team honors 7 times. He also led the NBA in rebounds per game for a record 7 consecutive years. I didn't know that was a record.
Yeah, so like
and also 5 rings.
Like pound for pound, he's the greatest rebounder ever. You know, because obviously, like an AD or a Joker or whoever, they're 7'2". Like, imagine if Rodman was that tall playing the way he plays, he would have been the best rebounder of all time. So. I think he's earned the right to talk. It's curious to me, like Rodman, it's not like Rodman played in a different era than Bird.
Right.
Like they played against one another. So you would think
there'd be a little more respect there.
Right. And
maybe that's Rodman where this comes from.
He doesn't say, Rodman doesn't necessarily say whether he thinks he could play in today's league, but you got to assume he does.
Well, the other thing is too, Rodman, I think the Pistons and the Celtics like hated each other.
Yeah.
So when you bring that into context too, it's like, oh, well, that also makes a little more sense that he said that because they've always hated each other, even after they retired, even after they're both in the Hall of Fame. Like, it's like, give it up, bro.
Yeah.
That was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. But
yeah,
I guess not. I guess they still say, I hate the Pistons. I hate the Celtics, right?
Yeah. I get it. I like what Jason said here, and this is what I generally think as well. Like, we do these shows, and so you have to compare eras, right? It's like, for the content, you do it for the content.
For sure.
But if we're being real about it, every great player from every era would have adjusted to any era. Like, you can't sit there and say like I one of my biggest pet peeves that I was talking to you about this last night. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people are like, oh, Wilt was so good because he played in an era. I'm like, Wilt was a freak, and he would be a freak in this era as well. And he would adjust like every great player would be able to play in.
John, does that include Dolph Schayes? Would he adjust to today's game?
Dolph Schayes would adjust to today's NBA.
Dolph Schayes GOAT?
Dolph Schayes is top 5 all time. I mean,
Daps over there like, who the hell are you guys talking about? Don't worry.
No, you and everyone else.
That's the whole bit.
That's an inside. Bit. That's a triple cross squad joke. But yeah, what I think someone else is, just like if Dan Marino played in this era, he would throw for 8,000 yards. Right. Yeah. He played in an era where they ran the ball more. He would adjust like every great player. What else we got? You got a crossing out here, Daps?
Yeah, I'm crossing out NFL gambling bans because so
you think they should be able to go ahead. Let you say
the NFL is the gambling bans are expected to come out this week, and there's a handful of players who may have like bet in the offseason. And I think we all saw Calvin Ridley get a season-long suspension for betting $1,500 on a game while he was injured. And I understand trying to keep transparency and like the game legit, but
yeah,
I mean, I think somebody made a comment like the NFL's in bed with casinos now and online sports books, and they're trying to like make the rules on players are getting bans on gambling. It's like hypocrisy at its finest, and I don't think you want to end up with a situation where anybody who plays the game can fix a game, right? And cheat points and sabotage their team. But if you're betting on a game and you're not playing and you're injured, how does that affect the game? And not to mention, it's not like at least I don't believe that he publicly like put his bet slip out. Like they found him, and maybe he did. I don't know the details of the Calvin Ridley situation. Maybe somebody in the comments can let me know.
Yeah.
But also, here's another question: if you're gambling on sports and you're a professional athlete and you always bet on yourself,
do you think they should be allowed to gamble if they bet on themselves?
No, I don't think they should be allowed to gamble at all. But I'm just saying, how would that affect the game in any way?
Yeah.
Right. So I understand why across the board you have to make it illegal.
Yeah.
But to get a season-long suspension for betting $1,500 on a game when you're injured and you're not playing that year is ridiculous.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm generally of the mind that like the leagues have always been really harsh on gambling. So if you do it, if you're a player and you do it, and you've known since college. Like in college, they drill this in day one. You have to go to all these meetings and be like, and they tell you, hey, you can't bet on any sports at all. Like, do you want to bet on underwater basket weaving? Well, you can't do that. Right. Like you'll get, and like the penalties are already really harsh. So I guess it's two discussions. To me, it's like, should he get punished? In a sense, like, it reminds me of the Johnny Manziel thing, right? Johnny Manziel, if he did that now, like, what did he do? Sign jerseys. He sold signed jerseys. He'd be allowed to do that now with NIL deals and stuff like that. So like, there's a bigger discussion of like, should they be allowed to do that? And then there's the discussion of like, well, should he be in trouble for it? The discussion of should he be in trouble for it is like, yeah, he knows. It's not like he doesn't know, right? So I can see your point on the bigger discussion of like, it seems like they're too harsh on this. But at the same time, like, it's not like he doesn't know the rules. So as the rules stand, I don't know. I'm not that sympathetic.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just think that some rules that they make, even like marijuana rules over the last 10 or 15 years, they're like completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can be with you on that one.
Weed is not going to enhance your performance. And these guys are getting 4, 8, 12, 16 game suspensions. Josh Gordon basically ruined his entire career because of marijuana. And it would have been interesting, like if he was just smoking weed his whole career. By the way, Megatron has openly said that he was smoking weed before every game.
Yeah.
If Josh Gordon was just smoking weed his whole career, like, does he have an impressive stat line his whole career? And also, how does it affect the game in any way to any fan?
Yeah,
so,
I'll try to condense all my thoughts on everything you just said into one spiel here. First of all, the weed thing, I don't know that I agree. I think that, first of all, I think it could potentially increase somebody's performance depending on who that person is, depending on the situation. It's definitely something like a big game. It could calm you down for sure. It could help you relax more, maybe recover more throughout the game. But I also think, like, who the hell cares if it enhances their performance? Like, let them do it. Like, if they want to. That's my opinion on that. As far as betting goes, I think Calvin Ridley, it kind of makes sense. You have to make an example out of these guys if you don't want it to snowball. As sports betting is getting more and more popular, like, this is the time, this is the rock in the river where they got to make a hard decision, and they did with Ridley. I get where they're coming from. I do think it was extreme, but I think he just suffered from being like the example, basically. Could have happened to anybody. I think the rest of the ones going forward won't be quite as harsh. Jamison Williams is the one that comes to mind from this offseason. I think he got a 6-game suspension, but I mean, he was like gambling like at the team facilities and stuff. And that's like a stacked charge. Like you can't bet on games. You also can't bet on sports while you're at a team facility. So it was technically like 2 things in one, and he only got 6 games. So I think they're going to ease up on it, but they had to kind of set a tone that we're not going to accept this. So that's how I feel about those things, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, looks like we're pretty split in the chat. Rose says should not be allowed to bet on any game. Jason says like I think they should loosen up. And he said if they want to bet on like other teams playing or even other sports, why not? Which that to me, I always thought that, right? Like why not let us bet on some sport we have nothing to do with?
What if you have insider info because you share an agent or something?
Exactly, you share an agent or that.
I guess that's the only
thing. Logic, right?
That's
like,
just devil's advocate for me.
I go to Weber State and I bet on, which is where I went, and I bet on college football because I have some insider information and I'm in the athletic program. Like I get it. All right, let's go to crossing ups. I'm gonna go crossing up. John Collins to the Utah Jazz. I like this one. I'm a Jazz fan, as most people know. That's my team. It's pretty irrelevant for the most part, but I like this one because all we had to give up was a 2nd-round pick, which I'm pretty low on 2nd-round picks anyway. And Rudy Gay, who at one time was really good, but now basically plays like 12 minutes a night and scores 2 points a game.
Isn't he like 40 years old?
He's like old. He's not that old, but
50.
He might be 50. He's Udonis Haslem. Yeah. So all we had to do was get rid of Rudy Gay, which to me, that's a good trade. The Hawks get John Collins off their books. John Collins coming from the Quinn Snyder Hawks. Quinn Snyder came from us. That's a thing. I don't know if that means anything, but it's something. Collins' family, I think, is military, and he did some time in Utah. That's a weird way to put it. It's like a sentence. Like, yeah, he had to do some time in Utah growing up. Poor guy. But he was in Utah, I think in like middle school or high school or something like that early on. So a little bit of a Utah tie in there. And just generally, I mean, for the front court, that means we've got like Walker Kessler, Larry Markkinen, John Collins. I like that. I like that depth chart. I like the move. I like John Collins. I like it all. Thoughts, John Collins to the Jazz? Or you're like, I don't care.
I'm gonna walk you through my emotions of finding out about this. All right.
Oh, interesting.
I see the post. I think it was Bleacher Report.
Okay.
I see the post. It's they make an edit with their 3 main guys, right? John Collins is center, Laurie's to the right.
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson's to the left.
Yeah.
Right. So first, I'm looking at John Collins and I'm thinking, who is this? Like, I know who this is based on his face.
That's emotion number one is who's that guy?
Right, but also like they didn't say traded for John Collins in the caption or on the graphic, and I'm like, oh, I know this face. Why can't I lock down who this is? Right, which was probably the first bad sign. Right.
Yeah. Second
is the first comment that I read says, "Not every trade needs an edit like this," which I completely agreed with.
Hey.
Like, this is not a big 3. This is not impressive. You're talking about depth. I absolutely am on the sideline of who cares.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm not talking down on anybody. I'm just being a realist here. If the Knicks signed John Collins and it was a Knicks edit, I'd be like, I hate the Knicks front office. I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate this trade. I hate everything they do.
You just hate everything they do by default.
Right.
You wouldn't be like, yeah, John Collins is a good grab.
Listen, the Jazz are like
the Knicks, if the Knicks
contracts away from being a relevant team.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's a homer. It's an insider. It's an insider take.
Sure.
John Collins' career numbers, 15 points per game, 8 rebounds, 1.5 assists. So that's about the kind of player he is. Good defender, good role player, not really a shooter, but can shoot 35% from the 3-point line. So kind of a stretch 3-and-D guy, like sort of that archetype of a 3rd, 4th, 5th best player on the team.
The only thing I have to say on it is, as far as role player signings go or role player acquisitions go, for the Jazz or maybe like a team like the Spurs,
he's one of the better role players you could grab,
and it's one of the better teams for a role player to go to too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's a good match, I think, but ultimately, is it like the biggest news? No, but for John, It is.
It's big news. Jason said Jazz are a team full of role players. Yeah, role players and Lowry, who's like, maybe he's only not a role player because he's on a team full of role players. Like put him on a team with superstars, he might be a role player again. This, I think, is the main thing though, is that they got him for only a second and Rudy Gay. Like that's a good haul for the Jazz, and they've got so much cap space that they can afford his whatever $25 million a year he makes or whatever it is.
Well, I think the Hawks, it's great for them too because now you get rid of that contract.
He wanted out. That was the other thing. John Collins is like wanted out for a while. He's like, this guy.
I feel similar about the Hawks, except that I think they have a real star in Trae Young, but also they're nowhere near being relevant.
Yeah. All right, crossing up. What you got, Daps? What are you crossing up here?
Crossing up. I think we're gonna cross up. Ohtani struck out 10 batters as a pitcher and then homered twice, despite having a cracked nail.
He cracked his nail, like his fingernail?
Yeah. This dude is just absolutely nuts. And it brings you
Dude, that's a game. That's like a little league game. You know what I mean? Like, you got that little league player who you're like, he's probably 14, playing in little league and like the 12-year-old. Yeah. That's Shohei Ohtani, but in the MLB.
Yeah. And it's really cool that we get to witness this as fans because I think we're almost not numb to it at this point, but he's been doing it for a couple of years now, and it hasn't been done since Babe Ruth or however long it hasn't been done since.
I don't know if ever.
If ever, right? Yeah. And it's so incredible. And these stat lines are like a joke, this headline. It's a joke. Like
it's little league stuff.
10
it's
out,
little league stuff. It really is.
Twice,
yeah.
And has a cracked nail.
Especially on the pitch counts they make him now. Like how many innings did he pitch? 5? 6, like on the pitch counts they have him do now, to do 10 strikeouts is insane already.
I mean, even 10 strikeouts in 6 innings,
that's wild.
It's wild. That's more than half of the people you face you're striking out.
Yeah,
right?
He's mowing them down, and he freaking goes yard twice.
Well,
here's the real question though: did the Angels win?
Probably not.
Yeah, that is the problem with the Angels.
I will tell you, I saw a box score the other day. The Angels beat the Rockies 25-1.
What?
20.
They scored 25 runs.
I looked through the box score. I'm like, Trout homered. Ohtani had 2 RBIs. Like everybody had 3 or 4 RBIs on the team. Like they had like a 15-run inning. Like in the 3rd inning, they just went ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean it's the Rockies, right?
The Rockies didn't.
It's the Rockies. The Rockies are pretty bad.
Run in the 9th, by the way.
They
were down 25-0.
There should be a mercy rule in the MLB. There should be a mercy rule in the MLB.
And even as a Mets fan, I'm rooting for the Angels because you always got to root for Trout because he's just like.
Yeah, the Angels are weird. I mean, that's a front office. I'm not even an MLB fan, and that's a front office I really hate.
Yeah, for sure. And it's unfortunate because you have Ohtani and Trout, and this could be like one of the greatest sports stories ever.
Yeah.
If they would just trade for some pitching or figure it out.
Or just do something.
Do anything.
Yeah.
Like
do any part of your job. Little chat check in here. Rose said they had 13 runs in the 3rd in that.
So
that's
Rose said 13. Yep.
Jason said Angels did lose the series where Ohtani, I'm guessing the one that you're talking about. Ryan talking about jersey. We're not doing a jersey giveaway today. We do have our Daps, our optics box giveaway for coming up kind of at the end of the show. But every 25 likes on the video, we are giving away a $25 gift card. Casey, do you know the like count at the moment?
The like count, I don't.
Right.
It is 14.
14 likes. So yeah, if you haven't liked the video, like the video. Every 25 likes, we're giving away a $25 gift card. Jason says Ohtani, best baseball player alive. I would have to agree with that if we're talking about overall baseball player. Right?
It's hard to argue with. Well, wait. Well, alive, you might be counting out some legends too quickly who are still alive.
I think I might be willing to do that. But yes, good point. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Casey, or I guess I'm crossing up now, right? No, I already crossed up. Casey,
you already did, bro. Sit down, John. Jeez. Yeah. God, you already got enough minutes this game. All right, so my crossing up is kind of just close to the heart. I don't think this is similar to John's. Like, it's not shaking up the NBA world to like the massive extent, but I like it. Xavier Tillman of the Grizzlies gets his option picked up by the team. He'll play for $1.9 million next season. I mean, half the people in here, even if they're basketball fans, are like, who?
Yeah.
Like this isn't
Casey's a
crazy.
big X-Man Tillman fan, though.
Let's go, baby. I mean, for those who know, I mean, he was our first pick in the expansion draft in our podcasters series when we made an NBA expansion team. Not a big deal, but he's the foundation of our team.
Little 2K action. Look, that's one for the real insiders, the real Triple Cross insiders.
That's what's up. And so maybe that's why I like this guy so much. So yeah, he'll play for 1.9. Just so you know, he averaged from last season, he averaged 7 points, 5 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and 1 steal per game. So, I mean, not bad stat lines, just nothing like superstar-ish, but fills out a stat line pretty well. 61.4% shooting from the field. He played in all 6 of the playoff games last year against LA, and he did even better than he did throughout the regular season. He averaged 8.7 points, 8 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and 53.3 from the field. This just gets me wondering about this team, really. This is kind of crossing up the Grizzlies, I guess, in a kind of tumultuous time for them. You know, obviously we got the jaw stuff going on, but this roster is looking pretty solid now. Like, I mean, think about it. They also just got Marcus Smart, right? So my question to you guys is kind of, what are you thinking of this roster? How good are they really? And I want to segue this into a little mini game that I have.
Do it.
Let's just talk about the roster real quick. John, do you have any other thoughts on the roster with like Ja, Bane, Tillman, Jackson, Adams?
Yeah, I think
Smart?
I think Smart is an upgrade from Dylan Brooks. It's like
and I think he's still on the roster.
Dylan Brooks, like
too.
a poor man's Marcus Smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not really much else to say about the Grizzlies roster. Without Ja Morant, they're going to struggle some, but they'll probably still make the playoffs because it's 25 game suspension, right? So they'll probably still get in.
So if they can get into the playoffs, let's see how big a contenders they might be. I have a mini game here.
I still am not that sold on them being a contender, but what were you gonna say?
Well, let's find out. Let's find out where we have them.
Without Ja Morant is phenomenal. Like, when Ja Morant hasn't played over the last 2 years, they were the first seed 2 years ago, second seed this year or last year. So I think they're going to be just fine. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if they were a top 3 seed.
Yeah.
They play extremely well. And Marcus Smart is a dog, and he's a better scorer than Brooks. He's a better defender than Brooks. If they had him last year,
as Jason says, Marcus Smart is what Dylan Brooks thought.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the bigger question mark is like Ja Morant. Is he mentally stable? And I don't know about that.
We shall see.
I understand too. He's still only 24, 23, 22. I don't know how old he is, but he's obviously not mature. I think that's the root of all of this, all these problems, is that he's trying to be a cool guy or a tough guy. And hopefully this is like the wake up call and like the shaking of him. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody more exciting than Ja Morant in the league right now.
Yeah. All right, real quick, both of you guys, I just want yes or no answers to these 5 teams real quick. Are the Grizzlies better than first the Jazz?
Yes.
Without Ja Morant.
Oh yeah,
they are better than.
Well, let's assume they're like,
as of right now, yes. I expect more offseason moves maybe from the Jazz, but yes.
Yeah, let's assume Ja is back. We're talking full strength. Maybe like leading up to like a playoff run. I think that the
Grizzlies would sweep the Jazz in a 7-game series without Ja Morant.
Okay. Next up, you guys both said yes on that one. Next up, the Hawks. They're better than the Hawks?
Yes.
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Daps is like, I mean, you're gonna have to go way higher than this.
Yeah.
I wish we had the stats of their record without Ja Morant over the last 2 years, and you guys would.
Yeah. Assume with Ja Morant though. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. With Ja.
Full strength.
Clippers. They better than the Clippers?
Yes.
With Ja Morant?
Yeah.
I think we should be starting with like the top teams, not the worst teams.
I'm working up.
He's trying to work his way up.
The Hawks and the Jazz and the Clippers. Yeah.
I mean, hey, these were playoff teams last year. Like this is who they'd run into in the playoffs, maybe.
The Jazz,
Hawks, Clippers, not the Jazz. I started with a non-playoff team, then we're in playoff teams now. The Cavs.
100% better than the Cavs. Yep.
John's thinking
you're getting warmer, but yeah, I do still think they're better than the Cavs.
Lost to the New York Knicks in the playoffs, and we're talking about them potentially being
recency bias tells me yes. I think the Cavs are better than that series, but I also think that the Grizzlies are better.
Okay, so that's an interesting segue because the last team I have here are the Knicks. Are they better than the Knicks?
Yep.
Knicks kind of showed out this
The Grizzlies
offseason, this
are
last
way better than
postseason.
the
Yeah, I think the Cavs are better than the
If,
Knicks.
if the Knicks
enough.
won one game in a
Fair
7-game series against the Grizzlies, I'd be surprised.
All right, now choose your own adventure. What's the most shocking team you would say the Grizzlies are better than?
The Lakers.
The
I bet
Nuggets.
Dabs can one up that one.
You think the
It's gotta be a
Nuggets?
team better than the Lakers. The Nuggets?
Well, again, let's just think about this real quick. The
That's
Grizzlies
spicy.
were the.
So you think the Jazz are the Grizzlies are like the best team in the league then?
I think this is for theater right now, obviously.
Right. Okay.
But
All right.
at the same time,
don't say
no,
that
we're
out
keeping these
loud.
receipts. Yeah.
the Grizzlies were the 1 seed the previous year. What structural change to their roster happened that was major? 0 from that year to this year. Right?
Yeah.
This year they were second in the standings. I think Ja didn't play like 20 games, maybe.
Yeah.
Or a large number of games. I think he, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ja Morant wasn't eligible for a Supermax contract because of the amount of games he missed, which was
Right.
15 or whatever it was. So you could argue that the Grizzlies would have been the 1 seed,
Mhm.
right? I thought the Lakers played. I thought the Lakers had a potential to beat the Nuggets, but I was wrong, obviously, like way off. The Nuggets were just so incredible this year. Like,
Yeah.
and they're not going to lose anybody. I'm just
Bruce Brown, maybe.
maybe, and he played phenomenal for them. But the Nuggets were also on they had such a chemistry at the right time too. So listen, I'm not saying they can't replicate that next year. They have Joker, they have Jamal Murray healthy, they have Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. If they have those 4, I think they can do anything. But the shooting they got from KCP, the play they got from Brown, like that was really remarkable. Very reminiscent of like Sean Livingston for the Warriors that year. You know, like there's always this
Andre Iguodala,
Quinn Cook or Nick Young, like all these guys who like should not be shooting.
Are you talking
so
about
well.
Swaggy P over here?
Yeah, but like he had his little run in Golden State too. So
Yeah.
That's where you're like, can that happen again? I don't know, but what I will say too is Joker won 2 MVPs in a row, and if anybody questioned that, and then Embiid wins the 3rd one, and then you see that and you're like, Joker's clear cut the MVP.
Yeah.
Like he was the most valuable player, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah. And
I get it. Maybe you don't want to give 3 in a row, but at the same time, why not? If you win 3 MVPs in a row and you're the best player,
get it. The journalists or whatever definitely get like voter fatigue or whatever, and I think everybody on our show thinks, at least all the hosts think, Joker deserved the 3rd one.
I'm glad we went down that little Grizzlies road because Daps with some spicy stuff. I think a lot.
I mean, basically, you think the Grizzlies are the best team in the league if you think they're better than the
taking
Nuggets.
it,
I think. Yeah,
taking it.
I mean, Celtics, Bucks are the other real.
But all I'm asking here is, you don't think the Grizzlies can be the number 1 seed again?
I think they could be the number 1 seed again.
They were 2 last year, 1 the year before that, and now they have Marcus Smart. Now, again, this year they're not going to have Ja for 25 games, so most likely they will not be the 1 seed. But I think we're really talking about come playoff time.
The real question is, can they get through? You know what I mean? Like they've got to break through, like past this. I mean, have they even been past the 2nd round? You know, like they got to break through.
They lost to the Warriors.
Yeah,
like the championship Steph Curry Warriors. That's the team they lost to 2 years ago.
Yeah, no,
So,
they got to break through. Yeah, like that's it. They got to break through in the playoffs. Because there's been a lot. I mean, the Nuggets have been a 1 or 2 seed for a bunch of years, like, or top 3 seed for a bunch of years and not been able to break through. So I could see the Grizzlies being that. Might take a few years to mature, but
Ja also got he got injured in that Lakers series too.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
John, you want to hit up this next news story we have, or skip straight to a game?
Let's get into a game.
All right, let's get into a game, guys. I made a game for you two to play. It's kind of a co-op game. You can play it separately, sort of, but it's kind of a trivia, and I'll be revealing the answer at one time. So let's see what you guys think about it. Let's just get into the first one here. This game is called Whodunit.
Whodunit.
And
murder mystery.
This is how it's laid out. So
can you take off the top bar?
Yeah, I got you. So this game is about who averaged the most. These are career stats. Who averaged the most? One of these guys. We're gonna have 3 rounds of this. One of these guys leads each one of these categories. So we have steals, field goal percentage, and 3-point percentage. One guy leads each out of the 3 of them.
Are we going back and forth on this, or what are we doing?
I think that what's best is maybe we just have a little bit of general discussion, and you guys kind of lock in your answers. Whether they're the same or different, and we go from there. What do you say?
I already know my answer. I already have it locked in on this one.
Well, do you want to talk through it, Daps? How do you feel? I mean, let's
I bet
couple
Daps
minds
does too. What do you think here?
I feel like I have mine locked in too, and then my brain goes, well, if you think it's
But what
so
about
easy,
Kobe? Yeah.
then you're probably wrong. But yeah, I guess I'll let John.
We're talking about averages, and that's what makes LaMelo Ball interesting here. Because if we're talking about volume or really anything, he's not in the same league.
Oh, of course.
But we're talking about averages. But I'm still going to go Jason Kidd. I think he's got the highest averages on all three of these stats.
Hold on. You're misunderstanding the
One of
game.
I think what Casey is saying that
Yeah.
one of these guys is the leader of each.
Yes,
One of these guys
exactly.
is the leader
have
of
to
each. Oh, I
Of
see.
each. Yes. And I
So
should
you have to, it's
specify.
a matching game. It's a matching game.
So I'll just
Correct.
Go first. I think Kidd has steals, Bryant has field goal percentage, and Ball has 3-point percentage. Boom.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think Bryant has field goal percentage as well. I think Kidd has steals volume. I think is throwing us off. I'm gonna switch what you did. I'm gonna say LaMelo has steals and Kidd has 3-point percentage.
All right, a little disagreement on the first one. I tried to kind of start with what I thought was the easiest round, move to some harder ones. Let's see who had it more right. The answers are
1.9 steals, field goal. We both got field goal percentages. You got it.
Daps.
You nailed it.
Bringing
Nice
it
job.
home,
Nice
maybe. I thought this was kind of surprising, honestly. It's not just about who wins this, but like, look how much better LaMelo shoots the three. I mean,
Yeah, he plays in a more modern era.
sure
Again.
enough, but it's I mean, the stats are the stats. I'm just saying it's interesting, right? Like no narrative here.
I just knew Kidd was a steals leader.
He was
in
a
his
steal.
career.
He's second all time in steals, but he had such a long career that I'm like, there's a world where like Casey's throwing us off here, and LaMelo Ball actually has averaged a bunch of steals.
Yeah, and
Also,
remember,
Kidd was
it
an
is
okay
averages,
3-point
except for I should have probably qualified this, but I think you already got it. Like the percentages are just across. I'm not averaging their percentages from all the different years.
Roger
It's
said Kidd
career
was
average.
horrible at threes. I would disagree with that. 35% shooter for a career.
Yeah,
He was better than
especially
Kobe.
for a
He's
dimer.
better than Kobe.
I mean, look at the difference between his field goal percentage to his 3-point.
It's if he were an NBA and point guard in today's NBA, people would say he's not a good shooter. But at the in that
Because of Steph Curry
in
and
his
Dame Lillard.
yeah, and like all guards really can shoot
Yeah.
closer to 40%. Like LaMelo Ball is considered not a good 3-point shooter, but in Jason Kidd's era, 35% from the 3-point line was solid.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nobody'd
All
be
right.
mad if Kobe took a 3 and he's a 33% shooter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy, huh? All right, guys, let's move on to round 2. Let's see if John can make a game out of this. We do have 3 rounds. So round 2, who averaged the most blocks, assists, and field goal percentage between Tim Duncan, Shaq,
Field
and the
goal
Admiral David Robinson? I should have said this stuff out loud for the audio listeners. Sorry, audio
Yeah.
listeners. The last one was Jason Kidd, Kobe Bryant, and LaMelo Ball, steals, field goal percentage, and 3-point percentage. We already talked about that, though.
So here
Now we
we've
got
got
blocks,
whoever's
assists,
in the-
field goal.
yeah.
Duncan, Shaq, Robinson. What do you guys think?
blocks, assists, and field goal percentage. Duncan, Shaq, Robinson. What do you? Oh man, Duncan. I want to say David Robinson was like an assister. I think he was a good assister.
Do you want me to go first? Or you
Go
want to
ahead.
first?
You already have yours.
Daps is all
I
over
know-
this.
I feel like I know one for sure, and the other two, I'm kind of guessing.
Yeah.
I feel like you
And
probably do too.
I think I'm gonna go Duncan assists. I'm gonna go Shaq field goal percentage and Robinson blocks.
That does feel good now that you said that. Is Duncan assists the one you feel like you know for sure?
Yeah.
And I can't remember if David I looked up once who has the most like quadruple doubles or something like that, and like David Robinson's up there. It's besides Will. Will is an asterisk, but like David Robinson was up there, but like so is Tim Duncan. They're both up there. I like, but now that you're saying it, like Tim Duncan played way more with Tony Parker and Manu, and even with Kawhi. So I like Duncan for assists. I like Shaq for blocks. I like David Robinson for field goal percentage.
All right, John, once again, skewing off of Daps. Let's find out what the real answers are. Here they are.
Ooh, you got it again.
Daps cleaning up. Duncan is the assist leader. Shaq, field goal percentage, and Robinson blocks.
Dude, Robinson can block.
I'm actually
Yeah,
surprised that Duncan's assists are so low.
Yeah, it feels low, right?
Yeah.
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 Three
Look
is-
at that
I mean-
field goal percentage by Shaq. Like a non, like I know the kind
No,
of
I
shots
know.
he was taking,
Yeah.
But like, think about the other guys. They weren't taking like crazy like logo threes or anything either. And Shaq is like notorious for being like a terrible free throw shooter. That kind of surprised me field goal percentage wise.
I also like that you have Shaq in the Celtics jersey. Like of all the Shaqs,
bro, I just grabbed literally the first ones where they're already cropped because I wasn't bothered by cropping my own pictures here.
No, I figured Shaq would be high. I figured Duncan would be the lowest in, like, if we would have guessed the lowest in field goal percentage, I would have said Duncan, because he did take more of those like post fadeaways. You know what I mean? Like some of those tougher shots, you wouldn't catch Shaq taking any of those. Like,
I think 3 blocks a game is pretty impressive too, by the way.
Yeah,
like averaging 3
blocks here's one.
Game, like that's
who has the best of these 3? Who has the best average stat line? So reading them off for the audio listeners: 2.2 blocks, 3 assists, and 50.6% field goal percentage for Duncan. For Shaq, 2.3 blocks, 2.5 assists, 58.2% field goal percentage. And then David Robinson, 3 blocks, 2.5 assists, 51.8% field goal percentage. I think if we're just looking at these 3 stats, I like David Robinson best.
I like Shaq.
I like Shaq too. I don't want my big guy taking so many shots if he could miss half.
Out of 10 shots, he's hitting 1 more shot
than
both of these guys every time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I wonder, I mean, I guess a foul is a shot attempt. So even with Hack-a-Shaq, he was still averaging 58.
That's not a field goal shot though, right? Is it? Does it count? Does free throws count towards field goal?
No. What I mean is if he gets hacked, if he gets a hard foul,
I see.
It's still a shot attempt. It's still a miss.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Moving on to round 3. Looks like Daps kind of has this game already in the bag, but let's see if he can stay perfect. And let's see if John can even get on the scoreboard with a perfect round. Everybody has something to play for here. Yeah, this one I think was the hardest one.
If we're keeping score, I think Daps would be up 6-4 here.
Okay, that's a wait.
Or 2-0.
Or 2-0, depends on how you want to keep score.
Yeah, that's how definitely I looked at it. But yeah, let's keep moving, I guess.
Yeah.
This one I thought was honestly the hardest. Who averaged the most rebounds, 3-pointers made, and 3-point percentage between Bertans, Porzingis, and Markkanen?
Just this season or career?
It's career.
I think Porzingis has the most 3-pointers made just on volume of play and volume of shots. I think
it's still average, John. It's still average over their career per game. So
average threes made per game.
Who averaged the most over their career so far per game? Yes.
Percentage, I'm going to go Bertans. Rebounds, I'm going to go I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go Markkanen rebounds, percentage Bertans, and 3-pointers made Porzingis.
Unfortunately, I had the same thing in my head.
I mean,
I think Bertans is like,
does he get to pick the same?
He probably made 1 of his 3-pointers he ever took in his career, or he's 1 for 2, and that's why his percentage is
if we can have the same answer, then we have to keep score in volume of number. Like it has to be 6-4.
So I
think 4 would be generous, John.
The only other thing it could be is Bertans has rebounds, right? So
I don't think Bertans has rebounds.
3-point percentage, Porzingis 3-pointers made, Markkanen rebounds.
Okay.
All right. Same answer.
Felix says I don't trust Porzingis with anything. Yeah. Felix has been burned by Porzingis. I know Markkanen's 3-point percentage was really high this last season, but I think if we're going career, Bertans has had like a ridiculous year, and he shot a lot of them that year.
Let's see what the real answers are.
Oh, okay. So we were right on 3-point percentage, and then we both got Porzingis and Markkanen flipped.
Wow.
Correct.
They're close. They're close on rebounds. They are close on rebounds.
Wow. Porzingis is the rebounding king.
Porzingis is big. They're both big. They're both like 7'1".
So for audio listeners, Bertans averaged 2.5 rebounds per game, 1.9 3-points made, and he is the champ here of 3-point percentage at 39.8. Porzingis led the way with rebounds with 7.9. He had 1.8 3-pointers made and a 35.9 3-point average or a 3-point percentage. Markkanen 7.1 rebounds, 2.4 3-points made per game. That's what he led, and 37.1 from beyond the arc.
Who's the most impressive overall to you?
Well, first I want to say this is like the most least impressive 3 guys you could pick in the league for this game.
It's the European white big guys. The white European big guys.
Yeah, they're like the stretch bigs.
the white European big guys, but not Jokic.
The 3 guys I want to know the least about their stats in the league. He managed to put them all on the screen.
Well, I mean, hey, Porzingis was just in a big trade. We got a lot of Jazz fans from marking it.
Listen,
Yeah, we do, because I'm a Jazz fan. We have a lot of Jazz fans.
Being a Knicks fan, I hated Porzingis when we drafted him.
Yeah,
Everyone was all hyped about him while he was.
that's the only time I've liked him was when he was on the Knicks.
While he was on the Knicks, everyone was hyping him, and I'm like, he stinks. He's not good. He never was good. He wasn't good when he went to the Mavs.
I mean, yeah, Felix,
He's not
who's a
good
Mavs
now.
fan, Felix also hates
He's
him.
gonna be injured, 40 games a year for the rest of his career. Like, he's not good. I would never give him a contract in the front office. I would never trade for him unless I was offloading an insane amount of money, right? And like freeing up space for my future or getting draft picks.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics think he'll help him get there more than Marcus Smart will.
100%. That was the worst trade for the Celtics. I don't know why they traded away Marcus Smart. He is like a key piece to their defense, in my opinion.
Oh, Adam's like, so this is interesting. So Felix is a Mavs fan. You've been a Knicks fan. So we've like the fans who've had Porzingis have been hurt by Porzingis. They get it. They know. He actually did have a quietly decent year this year with the Wizards. But it's the Wizards, so it's like they suck anyway. They're not going to make the playoffs. So Adam's like, what? He doesn't play. He doesn't even play in 50% of the games. Yeah, super common. Like, look up how many years he hasn't even played 41 games. Porzingis is hurt a lot, and when he plays, he's like kind of just a little underimpressive.
So what happened again? The trade went through, and then it didn't go through, and then it went through again?
With Porzingis
Yeah,
and
is
Smart
that what
and the
happened?
three-way? I don't know. I don't know if it
Oh.
like.
Unless
I mean, it
I'm
went
mixing
through
that up-
eventually.
Unless I'm mixing that up with another trade, I could have swore.
It was
Casey,
going to be
did that happen?
Brogdon.
Yeah,
It was going to be Brogdon with the Wizards,
Yeah.
and instead they switched with the
they
Grizzlies.
switched to the
and
three-way.
Smart.
Yeah.
Right, got it. Okay.
Yeah, Porzingis just didn't impress me because his stats are nice till you watch him play. That's exactly what it is with Porzingis. It's like, I mean, yeah, he's 7 feet tall. He grabs 8 rebounds a game. Right. He kind of can shoot okay. He shoots above 35%, but below 40. It's like he does everything okay.
Yeah.
But it's not worth having him hurt half the time, and it's not worth
Right,
paying him what you pay
right.
him.
And that's my whole point is I get turned off by any player when it's hey, you play 40 or 50 or even 60 games a year
Yeah.
consistently.
Yeah.
Because if you do play, even if you play 60 out of 80 games a year, if 20 of those games are at the end of the season,
Yeah.
like what's the difference?
Yeah.
You might as well only play 20 games a year because we need you for the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you're not going to play in the playoffs, then there's no point in having you on the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Casey, what do we got? That's
Well,
basketball, right?
And
That was
also,
that,
guys,
so-
if you're a player, I have to run.
Yep.
I will be back 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, 2 weeks. We will have Daps back. So yeah, thanks for being
Daps,
here.
the champion of Whodunit, undefeated.
Yeah,
First
undefeated champion. Either you won 2-0 or you won 7-5.
Or
Either way.
201.
Yeah, 2/0/1. Yeah, it could be any of those.
I'm
But
gonna let Casey decide how those are
congrats.
scored, but
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure, guys. I'm excited to see that segment
yeah,
that's coming up. Then I'm not gonna let them know what it is.
Yeah.
If you're gonna run it,
Yeah, I
Which
think
one?
we will. I think
the
we will.
draft. Yeah, we will.
the draft.
We'll
that's-
run it. We'll wait.
Okay.
We'll wait.
Cool.
We'll wait on it. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
because
saying
we
were
got some
gonna
other
run it
stuff.
anyway.
We got some other
Okay.
stuff.
We got some other stuff. We'll figure it out. I kind of still want to do it. We'll see.
Yeah, we can see what happens. All right, Casey, say all the things while I let the football squad know we're about to get into football.
So
Everybody who's here, we're about to get into football. I don't know what the like count is at, but
yeah, we're not quite at 25 likes, so no news there. We're at 23, so smash the like button if you're in here and you haven't already. When we hit 25 likes, that's when we do a giveaway. Stick around. We're not ending the stream. We're just also texting our football list, so we're about to get 25 likes, so don't leave. You could potentially win a $25 gift card to DAP Sports. Somebody's going to today, so could be you.
could
See if
be.
you're in here right now. I'm going to do a little adjusting of our visual here, John. Just kind of make it a little two-man show. And John is
Little
messaging our
teaser.
football followers so that we can get into some more football content. The one story we skipped over, I guess we can talk about it a little bit while we have some football people waiting to show up. Should I stay or should I go segment. Dame Lillard. GM Joe Cronin remains committed to building a winner around Dame, although the team is young and inexperienced. Dame does want to contend, obviously, like any NBA great player wants to. But he also didn't request a trade. So how bad does he really want to contend? Should a trade happen? I guess another thing is they just drafted Scoot Henderson, who could be his heir apparent. John, what do you think on this? Should Dame stay? Should he go? And according to who is this should?
According to me, I would love for him to go, but he won't do it unless he gets traded. And some say it's a cop out, right? It's like the Bradley Beal thing, and I guess Bradley Beal is traded now, but like, it's a cop out. It's like, you don't have to be a contender if you just say you're loyal, right?
Right.
Or you never have to go somewhere to prove yourself or to try and like contend for a ring. If you just say, oh, I'm loyal. So some people say it's a cop out. I don't know if I think that. I think he's said it before. He's like, sometimes you go ring chasing and then you don't get a ring and then you just look bad. Right. So I think he just feels like it's worse for his reputation and his legacy. So yeah, I think if I'm the Blazers, I'm probably not going to trade him, like for real, just because I don't think I could get the trade value back for him. But the biggest favor they could do him is to trade him in terms of like his legacy. So if they were like, look, you know what, we're going to commit to a full rebuild. Let's get this money off the books. Let's send him somewhere and let's just get a haul for him, picks and young talent and, just rebuild. They send him to a contender. That would be like the biggest. That would actually be like an ideal. As a Dame fan, that's what I would really love to see.
I agree. That's probably what's best for Dame and the Blazers long term. But in such a player-driven league, I think the NBA is the most player-driven league out of all the major sports that we cover.
Yeah.
And in that kind of atmosphere, I'm like, if our superstar isn't requesting a trade, why on earth would we move that guy? He's still a draw, attendance-wise. So, do you want to sell tickets?
Yeah.
I think Dame helps you. Getting Scoot, a lot of people say like, oh, that should usher Dame out the door. But I kind of am, maybe call me old school, but I like a guy there kind of mentoring. They can also play
as you said, Steph
they can
Curry
play on the
mentored,
court at the same time too, by the way. They can also play on the same. That's not
as you said, Steph Curry mentored Scoot. Probably, and I don't think Scoot actually is that Curry/Dame kind of player. He doesn't shoot like that, but that would be like the next best person. If you wanted to model your game after Steph, the best person to mentor you besides Steph would be Dame. So,
well, nobody as young as Scoot is Steph or Dame, clearly. But
right.
Those are a couple of good guys to be hanging around for sure. So, John, I think I see some people leaking in here. Maybe
let's get into some football action. Some niffle. Some stuff from the niffle.
We didn't talk about it a ton, but I don't have as much prepared necessarily for football.
So before you get into it though, all the new people who are here, we are giving away $25 gift cards for NBA swag, NFL swag. You have to, you cut off my top of my head. That's cool. We're giving away $25 gift cards for NBA swag, for NFL swag. It's every 25 likes on the video. So make sure you like the video, hit the like button. And I don't know what we're at right now, but I think we're probably closing in on 25 likes.
We just crossed 25.
Okay, so we've got one gift card on the way. If you get it to 50, we're going to do 2 gift cards. So hit the like button, get us to 50. We're doing those over on our private community that is on playback.tv. There should be a link in the description. So it's playback.tv/triplecross. You can head over there and watch the show. We have the show on over there. So you can just go over there now if you want, playback.tv/triplecross. That's where we're going to do the giveaways. But make sure you like the video on your way out if you do go over to Playback, because so Playback's where we'll do the giveaways. But if you get the video to 50 likes, we're going to do 2 of them. And that's it. I think that was the whole thing. That was the ad read.
Very nice.
But it wasn't really an ad read. It was for us.
I enjoyed it. I think everybody else enjoyed it, clearly.
Get the likes up.
This is where we have a fork in the road, John. We have a couple of options here. I think we're on different sides of it right now. Let's just get on the same side of it. I have 3 news stories.
It's up to you.
There's somewhat going on. I know we have a couple of games prepared. You have 1 game prepared. We just got out of the game. We got some new people in here. I say let's go straight to the game you have prepared. What do you think?
Yep. Let's do it.
I like it. And then I'd still like to draft. I know Dap said he wanted to watch it back. So, let's
all right.
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll cross that bridge. Let's get into your game. John, what you got for me here?
I have a game called, there's no visual for this game. So this is just a pure audio game. Perfect for the audio listeners. Perfect for everyone coming in. I want y'all to play it in the chat too. But here's the thing. Don't Google the answers. Or if you do Google the answers, don't say you're Googling the answers. What we've learned in these games is that we can't trust the chat. because some of them Google, some of them don't, and they don't give us the right answers. So this
If
game
you
is
want,
called.
I'll stay out of the chat completely if you want.
I don't care, man. You can look at
All
the chat if you want, but I do want the chat to play. So this game is called Truth or Cap, and that's it. It's truth or lie. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to decide if it's true or not true.
Love it.
Do you understand how it works, Casey?
So I'm going to build a tower out of empty beer bottles, and then what happens next?
It's basically like Settlers of Catan after that.
Okay, no problem,
man. Okay, so first statement. Kurt Warner owns a racehorse. His racehorse's name is Undrafted. It's a two-parter. It's a two-parter. Both parts have to be true for it to be true.
Interesting. That's an interesting wrinkle. I think the natural thought would be like, man, two-parter is probably good chance that he like
that I did have a horse
and
his name is he does, but it's called Not Drafted.
That doesn't strike me as a John move. I'm playing the game creator as much as I'm playing the game here. I know the game. Yeah. I'm gonna say so that either he just doesn't have a horse and you made up the extra detail to try to trick me, or he does have a horse and it is named Undrafted. So that's kind of the two lanes I'm thinking right now.
Okay, so it's either fully true or fully false.
Kurt Warner is a pretty down-to-earth guy. I don't know what that says about horses. Like, there's kind of two lanes of horse people. There's like the super rich, like horse people who, get all dressed up, go to Kentucky Derby, things like that. Then there's like the more like blue collary types of horse people. I think Kurt Warner would probably have to originally be one of those, kind of like a Jokic guy.
He's a middle America guy, went to University in Northern Iowa.
I think I'm going to play this one more. Which way would I prefer to be wrong if I were wrong? So I'm going to go ahead and lock it in that I think it's true. No cap.
It is cap. Straight cap. But there is an NFL player who does own a horse named Undrafted. You want to guess who it is? Or you want me to tell you who it is?
I mean, it's got to be somebody who was really good and undrafted.
Richard knew cap. He's an AZ fan. Miguel, it's okay. We fooled Miguel as well. Miguel also thought it was true.
Man, undrafted guys. Who are some undrafted guys?
Don't think about it too long. Either say it or don't. He's well known.
Is it Romo?
He's a pioneer at his position.
No, I already guessed Romo. It's Tony Romo.
It's not Tony Romo. Yeah, Tony Romo seems he's like, I'm a Texas boy. I'll buy a horse. Why not? Yeah. Wes Welker bought his horse undrafted for $50,000. And at this point, he's made about $165,000 off of it. So it's a good investment.
Boy, Wes.
More than 3x his money. Made like 300 and some odd. I don't know. It's not a math pod. It's not a math
Wes
pod.
Welker, current wide receiver coach for the Miami Dolphins.
Miami.
Which are some of the best in the league.
So Casey's down one. This is a game to 10, by the way. So we'll see how you do.
Oh, wow. You have a lot. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Speed through. I didn't know how much the pace
I was trying to tell you, like, we can take a minute on this game.
Let's get it, boy.
All right. So next up, Tim Tebow was on MTV in high school. Truth or cap?
I mean,
he's the right age. He's the right era. What do y'all say? Adam says false. Kurt Warner.
I mean, okay. When I think of like high schoolers, like just like the amount of them, and because as far as I know, he wasn't really famous as a high schooler because the breakout was college. But I mean, how do you land a starting college spot without being somewhat popular in high school? I guess I didn't know he was popular in high school, at least. I'm wondering what he would have been
to Florida,
on.
right? So you got to be a pretty good high prospect to go to Florida.
For sure. But still, like just to reach something like national level, like appearance, I could see how it might not happen. Tebow, I mean, MTV is a weird fit, knowing Tebow's background. Like he wasn't there for like spring break.
Era. You got to think about the though. It was like that was
I guess. But I feel you pushing me towards that answer, and I'm gonna go with cap here on this. I don't think Tim Tebow
is not on MTV. That's your answer.
That is my answer.
Lion. All right. Jason says true. Dusty Zabel, welcome. Dusty, is this your first time here? He says true. Adam says it's a cap as well. So Adam's on your squad here.
Let's go.
Does that change your answer? Are you still cap?
No, I'm gonna stick with cap. Me and Adam will ride.
The answer is true. Tim Tebow was on MTV in high school. So he was a superstar in high school. He was on the short-lived MTV reality program called Two-A-Days. I've never seen that show, but the show was called Two-A-Days. I think it was about. He was featured in an episode where the protagonist high school, Hoover High School, faced his high school. So he went to Nice High School.
So Tim Tebow was the bad guy?
He was the bad guy. Like
Wow.
the team the show was about was playing his high school. In that game, he racked up 400 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, but his team lost. He lost. So Hoover won.
I gotta ask, did he have any actual like FaceTime on the show, or was it just like?
I mean, I didn't go watch the episode.
Okay,
I'm just saying, like,
I would just like to say that feels like you squint at it, and I'm not as wrong as you would think at first glance.
I mean, he was mentioned, like, at least.
Right.
Sure.
Fair
enough. But yeah, his team actually lost, and he had a rare loss on national TV. His first ever national TV game. But the team that he lost to, Nice or Hoover, that was the protagonist of the show. They went on to win the state championship that year. So, fun little fact.
All right.
All right. So Casey's 0 for 2 right now. Casey's
boy.
0 for 2 right now. Dusty says he's not here. He is not new here. He has watched multiple. Hey, if you're watching right now and you haven't liked the video yet, like the video. Every 25 likes, we're giving away in a gift card for NBA/NFL swag. Right now, we owe you guys one. Got another one coming. If you get to 50, got to get it to 50. All right. Next up, this one's a pretty simple one. Odell Beckham, truth or cap? Odell Beckham Jr. has more Instagram followers than any other NFL player.
I got to take the field. I mean, this one, it just feels like a gut reaction. Mathematically speaking, I'm sure he's up there. I can see him having a lot of followers, but there are so many players in the NFL, and there are just so many. And I don't know what the right age would be for the big. You said Instagram. I don't know what the right age would be, especially
I will tell
on
you
IG.
this. I'll give you this hint.
If it was TikTok, it's not.
You're 0 for 2 right now. I'm going to give you
this
hint. I'm going to give you this hint. The Twitter list of top 10 NFL players looks very different than the Instagram list.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what the sweet spot for the age.
So you got to think about it. It's a generational thing.
Sure. I get that he's kind of the right generation. He spent a good amount of time off the field. I don't know if that actually helps or hurts though, because the time you're off the field, maybe you're working more on that. But still, though, I just I gotta go with the field against OBJ here.
So you're going cap.
I mean, even if I thought he was the most likely player to have the highest Instagram following, I that still wouldn't cross the 50% threshold to me. I have to take the field against anybody. So, and I mean, you got some freaks in there who could have just as big a following. It's kind of a crapshoot in my mind.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm gonna go with. It's cap, though.
It's cap. All right. So the statement is Odell Beckham Jr. has more Instagram followers than any other NFL player.
These are
Casey
current
says
NFL
cap.
players, too? Only current? I mean, not that probably matters a ton, but.
Casey says cap. Let's go all time. Does that change your answer?
No. I mean, all time, there's just more possibilities that somebody else could have more. So
yeah. Casey says cap. The answer is true. He does have more Instagram followers than any other.
I'm going to run this thing, man. I'm going to run this thing.
And it is not close.
0-10.
OBJ has, I think, now close to 20 million, 17 million. The next highest is Tom Brady with around 10. So it's not close. OBJ, as Jason said, so the chat was against you on this one. Dusty knew it was true. Jason said true. Adam said true. They might have checked in their defense. Jason Stone said, and this is exactly, Odell was popping on when IG was on top. Yeah, Odell was like really big on IG when IG was really growing. So right now, Jason is 3 of 3, by the way.
Ooh.
You're
also
don't follow Jason into the picks. So if you remember earlier, like
I'm not looking at the chat. I'm not.
Okay. So because I don't know if he's Googling him or not. All right. Next up, Willis McGahee.
Yeah.
Willis McGahee. That's how you say his name, right?
I barely know who you're talking about.
Former Ravens running back, 2-time Pro Bowler, has more kids than any other NFL player. Truth or cap?
He has more kids.
This is a random one, dude. You just
wait. He has more kids than any current NFL. Wait, what did you say?
Any other NFL player, period.
Ever.
All time. Well,
okay.
Alive. Any other NFL player alive. Sorry.
I know, and this is another one of those like man against the field kind of things, and I'm not super familiar with Willis McGahee, to be completely honest with you. But I do know there are some guys with a ton of kids in the league.
Yep.
Antonio Cromartie comes to mind. I know that Antonio Cromartie has something absolutely ludicrous, like 20 kids or more, maybe at this point now.
Yeah.
Like in his playing days, because he's retired. In his playing days, I think he was in like 18 or something. Can't imagine he stopped. So I don't know if it's Cromartie either, but just based off that, I gotta go with the field again here, man. I can't put all my hopes onto one guy that you just happened to put into this game to try to fool me. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the field. Antonio Cromartie for a bonus point if he is the top one.
Okay, so right now Casey is 0 of 3. The statement is that Willis McGahee has more kids than any other living NFL player. Casey says Cap. The answer is Cap, and for a bonus point, Antonio Cromartie leading the league. Willis McGahee is 3rd. He has 9 kids. Travis Henry at 2nd with 11, and Antonio Cromartie just barely overtaking Travis Henry with 12 kids.
Oh, it's only 12? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I exaggerated, but I was right.
So Casey grabs a bonus point and goes to 2 of 4 now.
Let's go.
Real score 1 of 3, but hey, those extra credit points, they don't show up as extra credit. They just show up on the scoreboard.
That's it, baby.
Yeah, Antonio Cromartie be getting busy, dude. He's married too. There's all those kids are not with his wife.
Oh no, I'm aware.
I'll give you another bonus point. Most kids with one person.
Whoa. Probably.
I'll give you all of these hints. He's active, and he's Catholic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it has to be somebody religious. I'm Catholic. Okay, maybe just by sheer I was like maybe a Mormon, but I don't know that.
Yeah, like Steve Young would be a pretty good guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and you said he's active though, so active. Oh boy, that's a tough one. Who's like uber religious in the league?
Just throw it out, dude.
Bro, I'm having a hard time here. I don't know. It's got to be somebody older.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to answer, or it's off the board.
Yeah, I mean,
2.
You're gonna take it off the board. It's fine.
All right.
I don't know,
dude. At this point, definitely don't check the chat because this dude is on fire. Philip Rivers has 7 kids. He's Catholic.
He's not active though.
He is not active. Yeah, well, there you go. I threw you off. But even though I said that, Jason Stone still got it.
Well, I was trying to think of an old white religious quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I don't know.
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers? Nope, not him.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Tom Brady? Not him.
He's not active either.
Okay, so next up. So right now, Casey has 2 of 4 with the bonus point. Jason Stone playing in the chat has 6 of 4 with the 2 bonus points I've offered. Peyton Manning has the highest net worth of any living NFL player.
Okay.
Truth or cap?
Okay. So Peyton obviously has a good amount of stuff going for him. I think there's a ton of recency bias that's not biased. It's just good thoughts around this thing. Because the guys who are making a lot of money recently are making way more than the guys who made a lot of money back in the day. So I don't think there's anybody that I can think of who went on to build an empire, a la OJ Simpson, let's say, for lack of a better term.
Right.
Somebody who made a lot of money back in the day. Peyton, he's been everywhere in the media. I think the media probably pays just as well, probably better than most of the teams would for just a player contract.
Yeah.
I don't hate this answer. I'm just trying to think. I think Tom Brady will be there, but he hasn't cashed in on all the media stuff yet. So I don't hate this. It feels weird, but I don't hate it. I think he's done a good job of insulating himself, building some businesses around this career. I'm going to go ahead and say true, no cap.
All your logic is very solid here. And I wouldn't pick him if he wasn't at least one of the top.
It feels like there could be somebody who I'm like, oh, duh. It does feel like there's.
Okay, so everybody in the chat, you're against everyone in the chat here. They all said cap. You're locked in with true. Peyton Manning does have the highest net worth. Chat people, don't look it up. But who do you think it is if it's not Peyton? I think most people would say that they think it's Tom Brady because he's made so much as a player.
He just hasn't.
If it's not Peyton,
he really hasn't though. He's taken team-friendly deals.
Yeah,
he's taken team-friendly deals. He's made a ton off of endorsements, no doubt. got to be the highest out of all the current players, probably any player ever. But it still can't really compare to like the media contracts these guys get afterwards are so massive. So that's where I stand.
For reference, Tony Romo is way.
Oh, dang. Hold on. Just, I mean, I'll stay to my answer, obviously, but like other guys that come to mind are like maybe like Terry Bradshaw, then
Terry Bradshaw,
like Howie Long.
But you got to think about how much less they made as a player.
It's true, but they've been in the media for so long. I don't know what their positions pay. They probably don't really get pay increases all that much because they're not all that more popular with the younger people. But it could be, I would say it's somebody in that vein, like a Michael Strahan, maybe. Like if it's not Peyton, I'll go with it's one of those guys you see on panels all the time and stuff.
Yep.
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah. So for reference, Tony Romo is up there. It's not Tony Romo, but yeah, the media contracts do a lot.
Right.
So Peyton Manning, highest net worth of any NFL player, any living NFL player. Casey says truth. The answer is cap. Peyton Manning is tied for second with Tom Brady.
Tied? They have the exact same amount of money.
Yeah, roughly 250 million net worth between the
enough.
two of them, but with both
those
of them.
Two still in a race, even after they're retired. Can't help it.
Adam says Brady. Somebody in the chat did get it, and I knew nobody would. This one is one I kind of knew. I'm like, even if you say cap and you get the answer right, you won't get the person right. So it's not close. They both, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady both have about $250 million net worth. The leader of all living NFL players is Roger Staubach with a $600 million net worth. So Dusty got it. And you were like, I can't think of anyone who's built an empire. Roger Staubach has a real estate empire.
Built an empire, sure. That makes sense.
So Roger Staubach, though, but this is interesting. I mean, obviously, we know Peyton Manning and Tom Brady got paid a ton as players. Staubach started out making $25,000 a year as a player, and at his peak, made $160,000 a year as a player.
Yeah, so
he worked in real estate. He worked in real estate in the offseason while he was a player. He was like selling real. He's like, I'm selling real estate in the offseason. Got to feed a family here. And so that's what got him investing in real estate. And so, yeah, he has a giant investment real estate.
Well, I mean, Staubach was a great player in his time.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
$160K a year was no joke when he was playing.
Right. But still, that's not, I mean, that's nothing compared to what the guys make now.
I know. So you wouldn't ever think to say him because it's so much less.
Right. But I mean, those guys are smart. I mean, while you're still at the top of the game, while you still have all that notoriety, to build a business around yourself is really smart. I just didn't know who had done it better than
it reminds me, if we were to do this for the NBA, I don't know who it would be, but like I would know Shaq would be up there because of everything he's done with his money.
Yeah. Another guy who comes to mind would have been like Deion Sanders, if I would have thought of him at the time. Like he's been in a lot of different stuff, huge contracts as well in the league. But yeah, good job for Staubach.
Good one. So you're currently 2 of 5, right?
Yeah.
So we got a few more here. Next question. Truth or cap? Travis and Jason Kelce have their own cereal brand called Kelce Flakes.
I mean, this wouldn't surprise me, honestly. It feels like I would know about it is the only thing if it were true. So that's the main, I feel like we'd hear a lot about it. And like, how long has it been around? If it came out last week, like, okay, I won't feel quite as stupid, but I'll still make me wrong. I'm leaning towards cap on this one, even though it wouldn't surprise me at all if they end up doing it or if it's in the works already, or I guess even if it did just come out. But if it's something that's been out for over like a year, like, you know, since they've started their podcast and stuff, like it feels like it would be everywhere. Like people would talk about it. It would be a joke because you talk about the Kelce brothers a lot. And I've never heard anybody bring it up. Maybe that's on me. But for those
it's like
reasons,
one of those random things that like, if you like, so they wouldn't be the first players to do it, by the way. Did you know that?
Maybe.
So like other famous players have done it and it doesn't get talked about because it's just this random thing.
Yeah. But how many other players, active players who are brothers, have a podcast as well? Like that's a little bit of a different situation. I think it would get talked about a little bit more if it was them, is kind of my premise. So I'm staying where I was. I'm staying on cap. It's cap. Plus, it's another 2-parter. You gave a name, too, similar to the undrafted horse thing. So if it goes by a different name, I'm still in the clear. So I like that. I like my odds here. I'm going to stick with it.
So the question is, Travis and Jason Kelce, the statement is Travis and Jason Kelce have a cereal brand called Kelce Flakes. Casey says cap. The answer is cap. You are right. They do not have a cereal brand called Kelce Flakes, at least to my knowledge. There are two players who have for a bonus point. So this makes you, what is this, 3 of 6 now? You're 50%?
Yeah. 3 of 6.
Yep, 3 of 6. There are 2 players who have last name Flakes cereal.
Oh,
Can
I
you
get
name
you.
either of them for a bonus point? I'll give you 10 seconds.
There's no Flakes in their name. You're saying that the cereal name is
their
blank
last
player
name and then
Flake.
Flakes. Like it would be Coil Flakes if it were me.
Okay. Sure. It's got to be somebody who is pretty well established. I still think this is like a retired player move. Man, the last name. If it was like nickname Flakes, then Deion Sanders comes to mind again. But there's no way if he had a cereal, he's calling them Sanders Flakes. It'd be Prime Flakes.
Prime Flakes.
So there's no way it's a guy like him. It's got to be a guy who didn't have a nickname that was like bigger than his name. So a guy kind of like Strahan. I mean, I could just see him kind of like with the tooth gap and everything, kind of like in a commercial. Like,
Flakes.
And he, to my knowledge, didn't really have like a nickname that. So do I get 2 guesses then, since it's 2 guys?
Yeah. So you got Strahan and who else?
Strahan will be one real quick, and then I don't know. Maybe it's like the other media stuff, like the movie he did,
Bradshaw.
and other times I've seen him. Terry Bradshaw's not a bad one. It's similar. I'm gonna go with Dan Marino. Marino Flakes.
I like
the thing
it.
I would buy even. So
yeah.
Plus he was a dolphin. Maybe there's something like swimming. Like they use that. I don't know, man.
So Dusty says it's a cap because the cereal is called Kelce Crunch. The Kelce
better
brothers.
name. I agree. It's a better name.
Yeah, it is a better name. So Doug Flutie had Flutie Flakes, and Rob Gronkowski has Gronk Flakes.
Oh,
that's why I said Kelce, because I'm like Gronk is like very adjacent. Like when you think about it, you're like the Kelce brothers would totally do that, and also Rob Gronkowski would totally do that.
I think I actually. Yeah, I think I maybe have heard of the Flutie Flakes before, which makes kind of sense, at least with the alliteration. I hate the Gronk Flakes makes no sense. To like
Gronk granola. Yeah, you need something else.
Yeah, call it something else, like Captain Gronk Crunch or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was like a hardcore guy, not like a flaky like.
So you're 3 for 6, right?
Yeah,
4 for 7.
I don't know how many.
You're 3 for 6. Hey, just a quick reminder here. Every 25 likes on the video, we are giving away a $25 gift card for NBA swag, NFL swag. We're doing that on our private community, playback.tv/triplecross. If you go there now, there's a link in the description. You can watch the show there. So, but make sure you like the video first so that we can get to 50 likes. Do you have our count, Casey? Are we even close? Are we even over 30? Are we over 30?
We're at 40,
we're over 30. We can make it.
So we're 10 away from a second one.
Oh, we're at 40. Oh, guys,
so
if you haven't liked the video, we're gonna make it. We're probably gonna make it to 50.
We can get there.
Definitely like the video if you haven't liked it yet. So,
Dusty, I did just flip over to the comments, and Dusty said he does think that Marino had a cereal. It just wasn't called Marino Flakes. So
yeah, okay.
I would feel like that was kind of cool if I got that sort of right.
All right,
that was a total guess by that. I'd never heard of that.
Former Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill has a fear of horses, a phobia of horses. It's called equinophobia, which is a problem because they bring a horse named Warpaint onto the field every time they score. So it's another 2-parter.
Well, they don't anymore. I assume just based off the name.
They do. They do now. Yeah, sorry, I'll give you that part. They brought him back.
But I assume that's the Chiefs team horse, right? Warpaint, not the Dolphins. So he's not on that team anymore.
I said former Chiefs wide receiver.
I got you, but they didn't. Yeah, he no longer has that conflict of interest going on. If that's
true. Unless he scores when he's playing the Chiefs.
Fair enough. Well, I doubt that they're bringing on Warpaint when the opposing team scores, but
maybe just for Tyree. They're like, for you. Buddy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Revenge game.
They ride
Warpaint.
it. They ride.
They're
it
like,
right
we know he's afraid of a horse, so we're definitely putting him out there. We're gonna put him on the opposing team sideline. Okay. So Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's cheetah. I can't imagine cheetahs and horses would get along.
Side note: while you're thinking through this, Dusty did look it up, and Marino had one called Marine O's.
Oh man,
he had a cereal called Marine O's, that was right there. Yeah,
that's great, and I feel good that I got that. That he had a cereal at least. So
good job. All right,
yes, me. All right. So this one, the first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is like Tyreek Hill might tell people. First of all, he might be afraid of a horse. I don't know how Tyreek Hill grew up, but like, I doubt it was around a ton of horses. Like, just how many people even do, honestly. Right. And Tyreek Hill, I could see he's kind of an undersized guy as far as NFL players go. So maybe compared to other NFL players, sure, he could be more afraid of horses. Also, he's probably the guy in the league who's most mad at horses because he feels like he should be faster than horses, and he's just not quite there. Even him. So maybe like Dap said, like for the content, I'll go with
true.
This one's real.
Tyreek Hill. So you're going with true on this one.
Known horse fearer.
Equinophobian. Equinophobia, or I don't know how you say it.
Equinophobian Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Which means he came out of a swim, like he was born in water and then he grew legs and now he's a land creature, right? Equinophobian.
Yes, the chat agrees with you on this, and Jason, more importantly, Jason agrees with you, and I think he's 100% at this point.
What's up, Jason? Let's go, boy.
So the statement is Tyreek Hill has a fear or phobia of horses, which is a problem because every time they score, they bring a horse called Warpaint onto the field. Casey says true. The answer is
well. Hold on. The second part is not true. That is not a problem because Dolphins don't do that. So.
I already said yes. The Chiefs do that, and I said former Chiefs wide receiver. So
I know, but it's not a problem anymore. So that part's false.
I didn't. Okay.
You get tricky with the word.
I think I wrote which was a problem.
Okay.
So
okay.
Was it a problem? Do you want to stick with your answer of that part's false?
I think it was. I think it was a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was fine.
Casey says true. The answer is cap. Tyreek Hill, as far as we know, does not have a horse phobia. However, former Kansas City Chiefs safety Eric Berry does have equinophobia, and it was a problem every time they scored. Luckily, he's a defender, so it's a little bit better for him. But yeah, he was not having he was not having it, and you should look up videos of it because he's like, hey, get that horse out of here. I don't F with that horse. I don't mess with that horse. Like
Eric
Berry is not happy about the horse.
Underrated safety. Star, should have been a bigger star in the NFL. I think his career was cut short due to cancer. So shout out to Eric Berry. I hope you're doing better, bro.
Equinophobia. You deserve.
Hope you are cancer and horse free at this point.
I get it,
bro.
I get it though. Like, but horses are kind of scary, man. Sure, and he would be like, that thing's about to go wild though. For
something to be a phobia though, it has to be like an irrational fear. So it's not just like, when they rear up and it's like within inches of my face. That
I'm not a big fan of that. No,
that's normal. But yeah, no, I get it. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. All right. So next up. So right now you are 3 of 7, I think.
Yeah, sounds right.
All right, with your bonus. All right. So next up. Former defensive end Jared Allen owns several bowls and sponsors former defensive end Jared Allen owns several bowls and sponsors professional bull riders.
Oh, bowls. Okay.
Yeah, BULL. He owns several bowls and he sponsors professional bull riders.
I mean, weird because as far as I know, he was a bull rusher. That was his play style. Feels a little on the nose. But maybe that's why. Maybe it was one of those what do you call those? Like,
while you're thinking about
it, name determinative thing, like whatever you call those things.
Yeah, while you're thinking about it, Reginald Campbell said, "How do I enter to win?" Here's what we're doing. We're doing $25 gift cards for every 25 likes on the video. We're also announcing the winner of our optics box later. A giveaway. So yeah, get a like on the video. We're giving away those $25 gift cards in our private community, which there's a link in the description for. playback.tv/triplecross is the URL. All right, what do you think? Jared Allen, is he in the bowl game?
Man, I'm gonna say why not? Sure. Yeah. If anybody, why not him?
Your answer is true. The statement is defensive end Jared Allen, former defensive end Jared Allen owns bulls and sponsors professional bull riders. The answer is true. He does. I don't have more to say about it. I didn't look into it.
I didn't have to get any of his bulls' names correct or anything with that one. So like it felt easier.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you've recognized my pattern, if it wasn't him, it's somebody.
Yeah. And he's a big burly white dude.
He kind of seems like a bull kind of guy. So I did try and find
played in Minnesota for forever. I don't know where else he played exactly, but like it just all kind of fits. I was already like assuming if it's not him, it's somebody else. Who else is more likely, Yeah. Like I mean, it's gonna be a white guy. Let's be real. Like that's a white guy.
I looked into. I was like, let me find another defensive end that's like from that same era. And I was like, I mean, what am I gonna say? Michael Strahan. We know we know he's not messing with bulls. Like, all right. So right now you're 4 of 8. Good job, Casey.
Let's
You could finish this
go,
thing out
baby.
50%. You could finish this thing out with a passing grade still.
Okay.
All right, next
Try
up,
my best.
former Bengals receiver AJ Green is an accomplished juggler. That's it. It's the whole statement. Truth or cap?
Man, he's got great hands for the most part.
Yep.
Kind of had a disappointing last couple seasons here. I think he's still active. I don't think he's officially retired. Played on the Cardinals a couple of years. Man, he's been playing football a long time. He's generally athletic. If he can't, I assume he could learn.
Mm-hmm.
Or if this is cap, then,
it's not could he be? It's is he?
Right. And I mean, if the answer is cap, we don't know without a doubt that he can't, unless you have like video footage of him trying to and failing. So I'm thinking through the possibilities here. I'm sure there are jugglers.
I said accomplished. He's an accomplished juggler.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Like it's not like he just can juggle. I'm talking like he's like a 4-ball, 5-ball.
Based off of this game and how it's been set up, if it's not,
I'll go ahead and say this: he is very capable of 4-ball juggling. Like that's my bar for accomplished.
Based on the way this game has been, if it's not him, is it somebody else? I think it is more likely to be somebody else. Just doesn't strike me as a fit. This guy's been working on football for a long time. I think he's been catching balls, not juggling bags. We're gonna go ahead and say cap here. It's cap.
So the statement is AJ Green is an accomplished juggler. Casey says cap. The answer is true. He's an accomplished juggler.
Wow.
That's the one that shocked you the most out of all of these. You're like, AJ Green, I never knew, man.
Well, there's just so many guys. I'm like, somebody's got to be like a juggler.
And
again, if I'm being honest, that feels like a very white guy thing. So
yeah, right. Yeah, it's like if I would have said like Adam Thielen, you might have been like, true. Like,
I mean, yeah, exactly. I just think like black guys in general probably too cool to juggle. Like they're like, I don't need to juggle. Like it's like a white guy.
Because of our perception of juggling is like we both juggle. We both know how to juggle, and it is kind of like
still. I mean, I've seen quite a few people who can juggle, and like.
Not a single one.
Black guys are cool. They don't need to know how to do that, man. Like they
don't need any party tricks.
And I'm not just generalizing about black people. I'm talking AJ Green is cool. He's a phenomenal athlete. Like he himself does not need to learn how to juggle.
That's exactly
Whereas like a guy like a Sam Darnold or something.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, it's for sure, dog.
But what you got to remember, like, think about how we learn to juggle, which I think is how most people learn to juggle. It's someone in your life teaches you when you're really young, and like. Either that happens or it doesn't. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, and maybe you're out of practice now, but like when I say accomplished, I mean like he's really solid at like 4-ball juggling. You probably, if you did any practice at all, would be like that's where we're at as well, you and I. Right? So
any practice. Phenomenal juggler.
Like you can just how many could you get with 4 balls? You think right now? Pick them up.
Well, I can't. I was never a 4-ball juggler.
You're never a good 4-ball guy. I could probably do maybe 40 with 4 balls right now if I got 3 attempts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Guy, to be honest.
Casey, you can't say it's got to be a white guy, says Daniel. I mean, we're being honest here. We're honest on Triple Cross. Everyone we know who juggles is white. Okay. And
you're right.
Casey and I know more people who juggle than probably everybody here. So
I didn't say it has to be a white guy. Just if I'm playing the percentages, it feels like a safer bet in general that it would be a white dude.
Right.
That's my take on it. So sue me.
Yeah. Everybody get the likes up on the video. If we get to 50, I know we've had enough people flow through here that we should be close to 50. If we get to 50, we're going to do two $25 gift cards for NBA swag, NFL swag. Casey, you got, I think, 2 more questions here.
I think only one. Right?
No, one more.
Yeah.
Last. This is, I like this one. Panthers tackle Larnell Coleman is an accomplished violinist who performed recitals until he graduated high school. He performed.
Bro, I don't even know this guy.
I know that's why I did this one, because I'm like, I feel like an instrument thing is something I don't know, but like if you were like Donovan Mitchell plays the drums, I'm like, oh, everybody knows that. Or like Victor Oladipo sings, I'd be like, yeah, everybody knows that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, I had to find somebody obscure for this one.
Yeah, it feels too obscure to be like, how do you even pick that guy? If it's not true. So, and probably if I'm actually guessing what happened here, is this one. I think you switch the game a little bit. I don't think you're comparing this to like if it's Cap. I don't think it's another player in the league who's an accomplished violinist. I think it's like, no, this guy who I don't know the name of, can't repeat. He's actually an accomplished oboist or like celloist. So you're wrong. But I am going to ride with it anyway and say that I think it's probably true.
Okay.
But I do want a half bonus point if I was right about that. If you're like, no, it's just a different instrument that this guy's really good at.
Okay.
Because that's what I really think is the
The
most
statement
likely.
is Panthers tackle Larnell Coleman is an accomplished violinist who performed in recitals until he graduated high school. Casey says true. The answer is Cap. And Casey wants a bonus point or a half a point if that particular player, Larnell Coleman, is is good at some other instrument. The answer is, as far as I know, no. It's a different player. Like followed my same pattern, and so much a different player. It is another offensive lineman, but I can't even remember who it is. Like I just was like, good. Oh, I'm taking this, and I'm just picking a rando. Like so. Okay. To be fair, there is a chance that Larnell Coleman actually is an accomplished violinist. Yeah. That's why I said performed in recitals all the way through high school, because I'm like, I think that's unlikely, at least. Right. No, that was Cap. So Casey,
by that logic, even greater chance that I might even fall into a half a bonus point, because that's just like ×3 the opportunity.
I'm going to give you an opportunity for 2 bonus points right now because I made a tiebreaker because I thought Daps was going to be playing with us. Okay. All right. So we got right now you're at what, 3 of 10, I think?
No, 4 of 10.
Yeah, 4 of 10. You're at 4 of 10. Okay. Next one. So this one's going to be a 2-parter. Steve Young has more rushing touchdowns than Josh Jacobs, true or Cap? Career.
Bro. Postseason included?
I don't know that. Whatever would be counted on his career stats.
It depends where you look. I'm
everywhere I looked had the same number. I will say that.
So probably just regular season then, because I mean that would probably make the difference. Josh Jacobs, if he has any, doesn't have many, and Steve Young would have at least some. So that part's not important. Steve Young actually not a crazy long career as far as like how well renowned he is. But a lot of success. Great runner of the ball. Probably the best in his era at the quarterback position. I mean, Josh Jacobs, obviously a better runner with the football. Fewer scoring opportunities in his young career, for sure. Coming off of a great season. Ugh. It just feels, I guess, in my heart of hearts, I want to believe like my brain says Jacobs has more, maybe. It's probably close, but I have to play the same game of like, if I'm wrong, which one can I stomach better being wrong with? And I don't think I think I got to go with the homer pick, because if it is Steve Young and I don't get that right, that's pretty off brand. So
how are you even a Niners fan?
Yeah. So and maybe, and this is probably, you probably thought through that. So I don't know if you stacked the tiebreaker for me or against me. But hey, I'm rolling with my guy, Steve. Let's go. Yeah. Steve Young.
Well, you could also be playing me on this one, right? Because I'm a Steve Young fan.
Sure. But that's the logic there. That's as far as I can get into it. Definitely by career end, Josh Jacobs will have more at this time.
Well, I wouldn't have said this one if it wasn't close.
Let's go with the fun answer that it's Steve Young. I would like to say if I lose this, want to on record say I bet if postseason added in, he would still be above. So again, just trying to salvage some stuff here.
Okay. The whole chat is with you other than the 3 Walketeers, who we know is younger. So there's certainly recency bias probably toward Josh Jacobs for someone who didn't watch Steve Young play with their eyes and know like dude could run the ball. And I think it's also hard to imagine that like was really, again, not to be racist here, was like a white, like the whitest of white, Mormon white dude, one of the best running QBs ever. The answer is yes. The only better running QB ever statistically is Cam Newton.
That's crazy. I mean, that's
so the
statistically
answer,
sure. Definitely, even me, a young homer, is not going to say. I mean, he's probably
you're going to say 10. Mike Vick. You're going to say Mike Vick, right?
No, like Randall Cunningham, Mike Vick for sure in there too. Lamar Jackson, like all those guys are better skilled runners than Steve Young at the end of the day. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yards per game,
career
total
success
yards, rushing
keeps you in the
touchdowns.
game longer.
Every running stat, he's above everybody but Cam Newton.
Right.
And it's like
even
not
like
close.
Tom
It's
Brady.
like Cam Newton's not close, and then Steve Young's not close. So Cam Newton's a runaway, then Steve Young's a runaway, and then everyone else is kind of.
I'd be willing to bet, honestly, for this in particular, for quarterbacks who have rushing touchdowns, it's probably not even a real rusher who leads that. It's like Tom Brady, who has 1 yard
Cam
sneaks.
Newton.
Really, in rushing touchdowns in particular,
It's Cam Newton and Steve Young. It's those
Same
two
idea,
in every rushing stat. Like,
interesting.
Yeah.
I would be curious to see where Tom Brady is on that list, though.
Yeah, just
a lot of 1 yard
volume of play. Yeah.
Well, a lot of balls on the 1 yard line. That's what they do. That's what they did for the years.
So the statement was Steve Young has more rushing touchdowns than Josh Jacobs.
I'll go
Jason
true.
says true. The answer is true.
How
Steve
close?
Young has 43. Josh Jacobs has 40.
Okay.
So you get a bonus point for that. The tiebreaker on that was going to be if you and Daps both got it, I was going to ask you the number.
How many? I don't know what I would have guessed, honestly. So
I know. Like you have
I
no.
probably would have gone under that though. I would have gone under. I think.
Yeah. All right. So
probably somewhere in the 30s.
So you, with 2 bonus points, you finished at 5 of 10. Good job, Casey. You got an F. But hey, that's all right.
We'll take it. This game's kind of effed up.
It depends. It depends on if you're like a major league hitter, you did amazing.
Incredible. Best hitter of all time.
If you talk 3-point percentage, you did amazing. If you're talking about
best
school
3-point
grades,
shooter of all time.
you did really bad. If it was a
worst
school
student
grade.
of all time.
Yeah, not of all time, but yeah, really bad, really bad.
Fair enough.
All right, here's the deal. 25 for every 25 likes, we're doing a $25 gift card. Casey, what's our like count at?
We are at 43, so we're 7 away. Make sure to like the video.
If we do it like, so we're at this point, we're going to do them both on playback. So you got to like the video, get us up to 50. We'll do them both on playback. So what are we going to do? All right, let's hit. So I'm going to let everybody know, all the whole football list kind of know that we're announcing our Optics box giveaway winner right now. So Casey, if you want to just like maybe run through the major news stories you had lined up, and then we can.
Yeah, I have a few news stories here. So really quickly, I'm glad we aren't totally skipping over all these, but I'm unfortunately going to be mostly headline reading here. A pretty sad story in the NFL. Former NFL quarterback Ryan Mallett, 35 years old, died just recently in an apparent drowning accident in Florida. As deadly currents haunt the Gulf Coast breaches. That's a pretty sad one. That just happened. Yeah, I think that was just like last night, actually, or yesterday. That's when I saw the story, at least. So pretty sad there. I remember him mostly. I mean, I don't think he had any significant playing time in the league, but he was a backup for a while. He was a pretty big feature on Hard Knocks, I think in the Houston Texans year, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to his family. Very sad to hear about that. A really young guy there, super promising future. Really hate to see it. Another one, not awesome. Leonard Fournette was in a SUV accident. It caught fire, but apparently, at least here, he's lucky. He avoided injury there. That one was interesting. I just saw him on Good Morning Football, and then I saw this later on in the day as a report. So I thought he had a pretty busy day, but he is okay. So good for him. Last little story I have here, just something we've kind of been reporting on this channel for a while, but the Dolphins have officially made an offer to Dalvin Cook. So we know that teams are offering guys like Cook and Hopkins, offers right now, but they don't always make it like known to the media who the teams are. This one is confirmed, I think, by the Dolphins, not Cook, but the Dolphins, I believe, have come out and said they did offer Cook a contract. So that was one of my top 3 destinations for him. He'd be pretty killer on that offense, but there's still plenty of possibility for him to land somewhere else as well.
Yeah. Mike McDaniel was not born yesterday. He knows he wants Dalvin Cook.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I do want to call this out. So somebody said, doesn't Vic have the most yards? Yeah. So I did just look it up. Pure yardage, there are some other people that sneak in there. Mike Vick is one of them. He has a tie with Cam Newton. And then there's someone else as well. But average yards per carry, total TDs, all of that stuff, Cam Newton, Steve Young are runaways. There is some dude named Jack Kemp, who I'm guessing is like an old player. But Yeah, so if you're just getting in, we're about to announce the winner of our 2022 Contenders Optics box. Super good. Yeah, it's a great box. Lots of value in there. You got Purdy's in there. I think you got Purdy signs, like numbered signs, which means Purdy autographed the cards, and they could be numbered to like 1 to 10, 1 to 25, that kind of thing. Not guaranteed, but there's some really good stuff in there. Make sure you like the video. Every 25 likes, there's some people who are just coming in for the giveaway announcement. So every 25 likes on the video, we're actually giving away, aside from this box that we're about to give away, we're about to announce it right there. Aside from that, we're actually giving away $25 gift cards to DAP Sports. You can get signed jerseys, you can get all kinds of swag and memorabilia. So get the likes up on the video. Right now we were at 43 a second ago. So if we get 50, then we're going to do 2 $25 gift card giveaways. That's going to happen on our private community, which is playback.tv/triplecross. So all you got to do to get a $25 gift card after we announce this, then you join us on our private community, playback.tv/triplecross. That's where we'll give away some $25 gift cards. There's a link in the description for that. Clark, I see you coming in here, chiming in. All true. Cool. Optics box for YouTube. Yeah, Jason, we're optics box announcement's going to be for whoever entered. So if you're here because you entered the optics box giveaway, that is what we're going to announce right now. John said we had an awesome show. Thanks, John. So yeah, we are about to announce the optics box right now, but I'm going to say it again for you guys who are listening. I know it's a little redundant, but it's because people are filtering in. We are giving away $25 gift cards for every 25 likes on the video. So get the likes and then join us on our private community, playback.tv/triplecross. There's a link in the description for that. That is where we're gonna give away $25 gift cards there right after we announce this winner. What do you think, in case?
Also, for the hardcore TCPers, they already know this because I did a football stream yesterday, a small one, not a heavily promoted one or anything like that. But I did a little fantasy rundown of my favorite formatting in fantasy leagues. And it was also a preview into what our formatting will be in the Triple Cross Fantasy League. So I actually gave away 3 spots in our league last night, and I plan to give away at least one more on Playback while we're doing the gift card spins too. So if you have interest in playing fantasy football with us, that's another reason to go over to Playback too. So even if you don't win a gift card, then you might win a spot in our league if you want something.
And if you've liked the video already, you can go to Playback now. You can see the show on Playback. So playback.tv/triplecross, head there. All right, Casey, let's do this giveaway.
Let's do it, baby. Good luck to all you who entered. We are drawing our winner now. This countdown's always a little
after
longer.
this, get the likes on the video, go over to playback.tv/triplecross. We're going to give away some $25 gift cards over there. You can head over there whenever. After you've liked the video, you can head over there. So, Optics Box giveaway winner is
Wesley Horner.
Wesley Horner. That's a great name. From Charlotte, North Carolina. Congrats, Wesley. Looks like we are over 50 likes. So we will be giving away 2 $25 gift cards. Head over to playback.tv/triplecross or hit the link in the description for that. Wesley, the way that you claim your prize is email us at triplecrosspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know that you were the Optics Box giveaway winner. I think that's it, Casey, right?
Yeah, that should do it.
One more reminder to everybody, we're giving away $25 gift cards right now at playback.tv/triplecross. So like the video and head over there now. We're going to end this video on YouTube. So like the video, hit the link in the description to go to Playback and join us there.
Also, for the audio listeners, this will also be ending for you as well. Please, if you enjoy our podcast, rate us 5 stars and review us on whatever app you consume this podcast on. We would really appreciate that. And yeah, also you can check us out over on playback.tv/triplecross as well. Even if you don't make it over today for what we're giving away, that's where we do most of our giveaways. And we kind of do this broadcast on YouTube generally, and then we go over there to give away stuff. So if you want to get in on all our giveaways, that's a good place to get into.
Yep. All right. Yep. And you can watch the show over there too, which is fun. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. Every time we're live, we're giving stuff away. So you want to catch us when we're live. If you're on audio, yeah, please rate, review. We really appreciate it. Helps more people find our show. And until next time, we will see you
later.
Let's go. All right, there's our hard out for audio. Casey, I got to jump. What we're going to do, if anyone's still here on YouTube, that's where we're going to cut it for audio, just barely. So this YouTube stream is basically over. We're going to leave it live for a second. So if you have a hard time getting over to playback, you can tell us in the chat. We can maybe try and help you. But we'll give you 5 more minutes on the YouTube stream to get over to playback, and then we're just going to be on playback for our gift card giveaways. Yep.
Yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
Sounds good. All right. I actually have to jump. So can you handle all that, or do you want me to hang out for a second?
I believe I can handle it. We're giving away 2 different. Let me just confirm with you. Yeah, giving away 2 different DAPS gift cards and some fantasy spots. Did I miss anything else there?
Nope. I think that's it. So yeah, we're at 56
cool.
likes. So 56 likes. So 2 DAPS gift cards tonight. Gonna be a good time. Or today. I guess it's kind of night for some people, but yeah.
Tonight.
Okay. Casey's got it on lock. I'm gonna hand the reins over to him. Appreciate you, man.
All right, YouTube people, you're gonna have to join us over on Playback. I'm gonna end this stream. If you're still here or you navigate back to this video, you can find the link to our Triple Cross Playback community where we'll continue to do some giveaways. So join us over there. That won't be happening for another couple of minutes, so you still have time. But this is where it ends, our journey together on the YouTubes. Thank you for watching, and yeah, catch you on the next one. See you on Playback.